In this video, we will talk about how to find the area of a scalene triangle. So let's say that we have this scalene triangle right here. And just as a reminder, a scalene triangle has three sides in which all of the side lengths are different. So this is in contrast to, say, an isosceles triangle where two of the side lengths are equal, or even an equilateral triangle where all three side lengths are equal. So a scalene triangle, all three side lengths are different. So keep that in mind. So how can we find the area of a scalene triangle? Well, it turns out that we can use something known as Heron's formula, which is this formula right here, which we can use to find the area of a triangle. So if we know the three side lengths, and we call those side lengths A, B, and C, then we can use this formula. The square root of S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C, where S, this value, is equal to 1/2 times A plus B plus C, where A, B, and C are the side lengths of the triangle. So let's use this formula to find the area of this scalene triangle. So if we want to call this side A, this side B, and this side C, and by the way, it doesn't matter which one you call A, B, and C, but we'll just label it like this for this particular example, then we first can find the value for S. So let's say S is equal to 1/2 times A plus B plus C. So 12 plus 10 plus 4. So we get 1/2 times 12 plus 10 is 22, plus 4 is 26. So half of 26, that would be 13. So here's the value that we'll use for S in this formula. So we'll say the area, all right, A, is equal to the square root of, first we have S, which is just 13. Then we have S minus the first side length A. So we get 13 minus 12 times 13 minus the next side length, that's B, or this 10 right here. And then we have 13 minus C, which we said we're going to let that be 4. So let's see what we get. We get area is equal to the square root of 13 times 13 minus 12 is 1. 13 minus 10 is 3. And 13 minus 4 is 9. So if we'd like, we can write each of these values individually as square roots. So we can say the square root of 13 times the square root of 1 times the square root of 3 times the square root of 9. And we can just check, do any of these have a perfect root? Or in other words, is the square root of any of these values an integer? Yes, we can see that the 9 is. So the square root of 9 is 3. So what we can write as our final answer is we can pull that 3 out front and write it as 3 times. We'll leave these ones under the square root since they don't have an integer square root. So we'll get 13 times 1 times 3. That turns out to be 39. So we'll say the square root of 39. And remember, the units we're using is centimeters. So we'll say centimeters squared. So the area of this scalene triangle is 3 times root 39 centimeters squared. Now, if you were to punch this into a calculator, you would get something like 18.735 centimeters squared, but I prefer to leave it in this square root notation because this is an exact answer. So that is how you can use Heron's formula to find the area of a scalene triangle when you're only given the length of the three sides.